Once upon a time there was a railroad line. There was a poor boy working on a sign. There was a road to hell. It was hard times. It was the world of God. And man, it's a love song. Love song. It's a tale of a love from long ago. It's a sad song. Sad song. We're gonna sing it again.
Welcome to Backstage with Richard Ridge. The film version of the Tony Award-winning Best Musical Hadestown will hit North American cinemas for 5 nights only, beginning on July 24th. This pro shot captures the 2025 West End production at London's Lyric Theatre, which reunited the show's 5 original stars: Reeve Carney, Andre de Shields, Amber Gray, Patrick Page, and my guest, Eva Noblezada. How are you, my love?
I'm great. What a great morning. What a beautiful day.
Well, listen, I cannot wait to see the film. You've already seen it. Tell me, first of all, how excited are you that there is now a filmed pro shot version of Hadestown?
It's really exciting. I'm excited about it for so many reasons. And it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Like while I was watching it, Reeve said it perfectly the other day. It feels like a movie that's shot on the stage. It doesn't feel like a pro shot. It doesn't feel like a filmed stage version. It just feels like the world of Hadestown as into the thick of it as you can imagine, and in this biggest scope as you can imagine. Like they really captured the infiniteness with boundaries when it comes to the myth of it all. It's so brilliant, and we're so excited. We're seeing it like 80 times. We don't care.
Well, let's go back to when you all, the 5 of you came back to London. You're back in the rehearsal room again. You're with Rachel. I mean, you've all changed since you originally did this. So what kind of conversations did you all have with Rachel, and conversations she had with all of you?
There was definitely a point like before we moved out to London asking like what exactly like do you want? Because we've all, like you said, we've all had lives. Like it's so much time has gone past and so many people have gone through and played the roles. And I think for Reeve and I too, like we were like, what do you want from us? And Rachel just kind of said, how you guys are now. Like you guys originated originated your roles on Broadway. We just want to capture that now. We're not having we don't want you to do the version you did at the National Theater. We don't want you to do the version you did when we came to Broadway or post-pandemic. We want what we create now, which was great. It was very flexible and very interesting to come back into a role that, I didn't think I was going to do again. And it was very educational and very enlightening, and also coming back, the 5 of us together and creating something and then going, it is done. It was very, very beautiful to have that closure together, because we all left at different times. And it's when you create something so powerful together and somebody steps back, you're like, oh, it was really beautiful to have that full circle moment, especially in London too, where we kind of started together.
Well, let's talk about being in the room, the 5 of you back together again. Like you said, you left the show at different times. Some people had some closure, some didn't have any at all, So
Yeah.
it's like, how emotional was this?
It's always emotional doing Hadestown. It's always emotional watching Hadestown. It's always emotional thinking of Hadestown. And it was very emotional doing Hadestown again with a new cast, with a new, concept of the show. But at the same time, I think we had space and we had all, I guess you could say evolved in different parts of our life. So as much as it was emotional, it was very joyous. It was very, we'd had a great time. It flew by. And watching the movie was very emotional because we didn't know what to expect at the Tribeca Film Festival. We just kind of sat down and, you know, watched it for the first time alongside everyone else. So Hadestown will never not be emotional for me. I will always be a wreck watching it, no matter where I'm watching it or who I'm watching. That show has a very special je ne sais quoi, effect on people. And of course, anyone who's done the show would know that it's hard to not be connected to the piece as you're watching it because you know what it's like to do it. So,
Like I said, the show was already running there. You five stepped into a show that was sort of already up and running.
yeah.
And the five of you came in. So, like meeting the new company, the company over there, and blending together, what was that like? Because all the clips I've seen, it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely was. And, they had their own world. They had their own little niche spots that they had created. And they were so gracious welcoming us into their space. And the Lyric Theater is a very special spot for Hadestown. It's very intimate. It's very Greek Colosseum built. So like you look up rather than out into the house, which is actually quite normal in comparing West End theaters to Broadway theaters. But they were really lovely and we had a great time. We just kind of had a kiki, I think, because we all knew, hey, this is going to happen really quick. It's going to be really crazy. There's going to be cameras. It's going to be a big hubbub, and we got to get through it together. And thankfully, that cast too was always down for like, hey, let's go. You want to go out? Let's go for a drink. Let's go out. And I love a vibe that's like, let's celebrate the hard work that we're doing. Work very hard and play very hard. I respect that. I'm a big fan of that. Um, but it was fantastic. I mean, of course, there was a bitter sweetness watching the film, knowing that like, we created that with a bunch of people that weren't able to be a part of the film production. However, in my performance, anytime I looked around the stage, as much as I saw those West End actors and artists, I felt and saw the presence of everybody whose work had been a part of Hadestown to make that version happen. The original Broadway cast and the off-Broadway production downtown, and everybody who was a part of Hadestown is a part of Hadestown in what we created. I hope that they feel that too, because it's a weird, weird thing.
yeah. The audience looks like to have been invited to watch this magical thing happen. I mean, from the clips I've seen, they're out of their mind. What was it like during like the first performance when you did it in front of an audience over there? What was it like for the five of you?
It was kind of crazy. I mean, what's wild is that Patrick, had his injury, and when he stepped on stage in his creature-like boot, the audience, like, I think you could feel everybody kind of go, because it added a whole other level of, oh, he's fucking scary. And in the movie, like, that's another thing I'm excited for people to experience. Like, Hadestown is spooky. It's heartbreaking, and it's very tense. But the thing about the movie is that I was genuinely, we love horror films in this house. It felt like a psychological horror because the pressure that Orpheus has, and you could feel that because the camera is so close. And good morning, love
Who's
you. Just my beautiful husband.
fabulous?
Um, it's morning over here in Casa Carne, Richie.
Of
You know
course it
that.
is. I know that.
But yeah, it's very spooky, and the audience had the best time. It was really cool. The first show we did with them, that was a really, very electrifying night, and the stage door like wrapped around all the way like past like the Mickey D's on the corner, and it was really, really, really thrilling. And it was cool because I think the who was it at stage door working, and they were like, oh, they're excited to see you guys. They're excited to see you lot today. It was really, really cool. But the audiences were part of the reason why what we filmed was so exciting, because they were excited to be a part of something that was really special. 3 nights only, cameras everywhere. It's going to be unlike any Hadestown you've seen before. And absolutely, that's what you get when you see the movie.
Okay, so meeting these fans afterwards, like you said, wrapped all the way around the block to the Mickey D. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously, what was it like? I mean, you have had so many fans first in London there with the show, and then off Broadway, on Broadway and everything else. I mean, what was it like meeting these like diehard fans that were able to be there for this run? And I'm sure many of them there had seen the show like numerous times.
Yeah. It was really special. It was cool to like, and the thing is, Reeve and I love doing stage door, but because of the demands of that
Oh,
show and the schedule we were on, we did stage door like for the first 2 nights, 3 nights, and it took us like 45 minutes. Maybe like the longest took was almost an hour. So we were like, I don't think we can do this like healthily on our schedule, like go down and that's a lot of not work, it's just a lot of extra energy that we need to preserve our instruments and our bodies. But it was amazing. People were like, we're from Germany, we're from Peru, we're from Australia, we saw you guys at the National, we saw you guys on Broadway, we saw you guys here. Like it's it's not, a feeling that I will yet to understand how to describe. um Grateful is one of them. I mean, I can't do anything in my career without people buying tickets. So it's a really full circle, and it's really special to meet people who are so supportive of us to buy tickets in different parts of the world. Because tickets aren't cheap, and then you buy your flights and you buy your hotels and you make a whole thing out of it. So we're really grateful, infinitely grateful for people who are supportive of not just Hadestown, but of myself and of Reeve. So good morning, baby. Want to say hi to Richie?
Oh, look. Just got up too?
Yeah.
No, but you are very gracious to your fans because you use your social platform where you're so honest. Like when you're getting ready at a show, you'll be putting your makeup on and you just have conversations with the fan base that comes on here and sees the real you. I mean, after a show, 1,200 people jump out on the street to say hello to you. That's like doing a whole other show. But
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
But I just love that you're so gracious to your fans around the world on your social platforms and everything else because you're so real. You're hilarious to watch. I tune into you a lot when you're like at the theater and putting your face on and whatever else. And you're like, I've had this today or this is wrong or I have a pimple today or whatever else. Or just you're so honest and cool and you just how you look at your life and everything else, which I think is really great. The both of you do that. You and Reeve together.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, I think I spent too much of my life being insecure and being, a people pleaser and performative in a way that like I don't enjoy. And it really did feel like I had like a stick up my ass. And I thought that was really uncomfortable. So I think there's been major shifts in my life that make me want to be like how when I was younger, how I would have wanted to have interactions with people that I looked up to. And I think the best thing is just like being yourself, being kind, being yourself. I'm not kind all the time. I mean,
Oh,
I'll throw your energy back if you're going to be a little butthole. And that happens sometimes. But it's really, it's free to be kind. And I think especially like our community is so small and people come to the theater for different reasons. And I think as much as it is my job and it feels like my job sometimes, it is, I feel very privileged to be able to call something my job that I genuinely love and enjoy. And I get so much out of it. I mean, Reeve was telling our friends the other night, like has a script open for Gatsby. Like that's what he's doing in his room, like looking over a script. And I don't have my script out, but I'm reading Uta Hagen's Respect for Acting. And I have my little notebook. I have my little places in the show where I'm like, can I go deeper? Can I be more natural here? Can I do this with my body to kind of exude a certain emotion? Like there's always work to be done. There's always places to grow and explore and be curious. And I love Instagram lives. I mean, to be selfish, sometimes I'll do an Instagram live on a matinee to wake me up because I'm like, people are watching and I'm like, oh, I have to wake up. I have to check a Celsius. But I just think it's fun. Like getting ready for a show is so exciting and it's cool to share that. That's what social media should be for.
but see, that's what I love, and I think being kind opens up you as a performer too. All my kind people that we have in our lives, when you watch their work, it's so much more open. Don't you agree?
Mm. Oh yeah, I think I completely agree. It's open. I think it's unless of course like open in a way I hear you. That's like it's not about what the person looks like or the actor looks like. It's truly like I'm open because humans are open. Humans are, we're reacting to things and we have our own worlds. And even if we're secretive and even if we're whatever, like on stage, there I don't think there should be an air of like, watch what I do. I think performances like that are kind of boring because we all have something, we all have things that relate us to another, and some of those things might not be the things that we would share, first, but I think, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Humans are very complex, and I think if people are too closed off, I'm like, oh no, like I want to get to know you. I want to see you.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. But, I'm wondering about the immortalization of having this now. I mean, I listened to a few
Mm,
of your other cast members talk at Tribeca of just saying, this is like, Hadestown is unlike any other musical you've all worked on. I mean,
yeah,
listen, you met Reeve, you met your husband there, he met you during there. I mean, there are such deeper, deeper things that everybody has gone through. The friendships, the
yeah,
five of you have, and everybody else connected to the show too. But the five of you are so, so close because you were in the trenches together from the very first day, creating the show with Aeneas and with Rachel, and discovering things and like, where does my character go now? What do I want to bring to it and everything else? You created this incredible thing. So for the five of you to seriously to have this together immortalized like the most perfect screen capture, I mean, that must have blown your mind when you all sat there at Tribeca and be like, oh my gosh, how do I process all this, right?
it was very I will say it was very difficult to process because we were all like, watching it for the first time as the film, but we know this show inside and out, and it's so interactive. Like it was so in the audience, Hermes goes, and I think Amber and I were the first ones to go, and then everyone was like, okay, like, yeah, okay, this is what we're doing. We're being interactive. Uh, but it was also so emotional. Like I do think it was really jacked up that they were like, okay, now Eva Reeve, can you sing a song now that the movie's done? And we were like, I was like, fuck. It was just, I felt so heavy because we were crying, but it was so cool to like, we were sitting, I think, right behind each other. It was me and Reeve and my mom and Reeves and Marty, and then Andre in front of us, and then Amber in front of them, and Patrick closer to the front with Paige. So it was fun. Like whenever like anyone walked out, like to look at their face and see like Andre's reaction to him like walking on stage and having seeing his little smirk. And I'm like, see, this is so cool. Like watching them watch themselves was really cool.
I'm sure you wanted to like reach over two rows, like, look at you, look at you, look at,
Oh,
right?
there were definitely moments where I was like, Amber would look back at me and laugh about something that we saw, and it was so weird. Like it did feel really intimate, but then like you turned around and there was like hundreds of other people watching it too. Uh, but it was so much fun. I can't wait to see it again, having seen it, knowing that it was such a great experience, and I know that I'm going to pick up so many more things that I didn't catch the first time. So, yes. Okay,
Well,
you can sit on my lap.
I love that you, I mean, of course, working with Rachel again, Shafkin, and you also had a film director, which is Brett Sullivan. And I know
Yeah.
that Brett and Rachel had talked about like what should it sort of look like and feel like. So I know they went back to look at all of these incredible rock documentaries and rock films that had been done.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was brought to your attention in the rehearsal room when you all were fine tuning this, right? With between Brett and Rachel.
Yeah. The crazy thing is we didn't really have a lot of dialogue with Brett. And I'm sure you know this, but it's so interesting that Brett also did the Miss Saigon pro shot. So I was quite familiar with his work. Um, but most of our conversations about what we were going to capture in our characters were with Rachel. I think there were only a few moments that like Brett would come over before we would shoot something. It was really on the filming days that Brett really kind of obviously was like, hey, this is what we're going to film. We're going to come over here and then we're going to come in. And then once this musical thing is, we're going to kind of stay here, framing you here, and then just do your thing. And that was like the extent of like him giving us notes, which was kind of awesome that he was like a little phantom of the theater, just kind of floating in and floating around. And the way that he captured the movie is truly genius and so captivating and so um, massive. He made that stage that we were on, which was really small. It's really tiny. He made the world just he extended it into the skies, and it's really really awesome. Um, but yeah, well, the rock documentaries are so cool that they were watching those things, and especially like I don't want to give too much away, but the beginning of the movie, you see a lot of behind the scenes that really sets the scene, sets the vibe of the movie up, and I think that's really really cool and not expected, which is awesome.
Well, I love what Rachel did when she sat with you like the first days of rehearsal and said, you're all different people now. Let's just do the version of who you all are now,
Yeah.
which was freeing and everything else. And you all just jumped into this whole thing. I mean, that was probably like one of the best notes she could ever give in any of you, right?
Yeah, and it was, I was a little terrified because I was like, I don't know if I can do what I did back then, or even if like, I don't know if that even aligns with me anymore, like her inner world of like Eurydice's inner world. But having us start a process with Rachel being like, this is open and we want you now was such a beautiful, encouraging way for us to start something that we were all very excited about. But I was quite nervous. I hadn't stepped into that role in such a long time, and I at one point I was like, "Am I too old to be playing this? Like, too many people have played this. Hey, get anyone else?" Um, it was really awesome, and also too, like the West End cast, like there was not a moment where they were like, "Well, that's not what we do. That's not what we do over here." It was just familial, and it was very safe environment for us to get to know each other whilst doing it together, essentially.
Yeah. Did Aeneas Mitchell come over too? Was Aeneas there?
Aeneas is a fairy, and she is always flying to her next destination, or like you see her and she's like, ah, and then she just like it bursts in a bubble and goes somewhere else. Uh, I don't think she was there for too long, but if she was, I didn't really see her that much. Uh, but she's obviously there because her spirit's so in the piece. Um, but we didn't see her at the Tribeca because she was still I think, on vacation. But hopefully, we'll see her soon.
Oh, you will.
Yeah,
I love the journey that she's been on with this show. I mean, you dream about something like creating a musical for the stage or for Broadway, and
yeah,
her journey on this piece is unlike anybody in the
yeah,
history of musical theater, and she's just the loveliest person in the world. So I just
yeah.
how this piece lives on to millions and millions of theater goers, and now it's going to happen with the film. My final question for you is, how has your life changed the way you look at your career now that you are married?
Ah, well, my life has changed and just blossomed from being married because I'm married to the most incredulous, kind, real super spirit that I could possibly imagine. And what I love so much about Reeve that is that it's so it almost is like a shock to his internal software when you compliment him sometimes, and it always kind of makes me giggle because I'm like, you must know that or see that, but that's not, the fact that it's so to him, it's just also proof of how humble he is and how gracious he is. Um, and I just love that. He's quite literally the best. And I don't know, I haven't really thought about how being married affects my career, but definitely my life has always been better with Reeve in it. And it continues to get even better because him and I are yin and yang. We're partners. I want to say partners in crime, but I don't plan on doing anything illegal unless he wants to. Right, Toonie? Um, yeah, but he is. I do feel invincible with him, with us as a team, and there's nothing that we can't do. And I know I love you too. There's nothing that we can't do together, and I'm excited to do more shows together. That's the
Well,
best.
the two of you have the biggest hearts of people that we know, just so you know that. And like I said, we fell in love with Reeve before he went into rehearsal of Spider-Man. And I fell in love with you the first week you arrived here for Miss Saigon, and fell in love with you. And now with the two of you together, you know what you know what you mean to Preston and I and to everybody
Yeah.
else. You know it.
You
Well,
guys know too how much we love you. So thank you.
I love you back. So, well, once again, Hadestown, the musical, the film will hit the big screen for 5 nights only, beginning on July 24th.
I want, I want, 2, 3, 4.
making some mighty big deals. Seems like he owns everything.
Kinda makes you wonder how it feels.
Eurydice was a hungry young girl,
Your ticket.
and Hades gave her a choice to make. A ticket to the underworld.
Wait for me, I'm coming. Wait, I'm coming with you. Wait for me, I'm coming. I'm wait, I'm coming with you. Wait for me, I'm coming to take me home. I'm coming.